Good afternoon, everyone. This is Professor Hill. Short video for our class, Introduction to Ethics, Philosophy 2306 here at St. Philip's College for the summer of 2026. And today is Monday, the 8th of June, 2026, and we're just getting started with this class. Today is day number 1, so we're getting started. I want you to know that as you go into the Canvas website and look around, you'll see a calendar, you'll see assignments, and I want to just walk through a couple of those things today. This is just a brief introductory video, but I will be making videos on a pretty fairly regular basis for us, and you'll also see that I've got to do some traveling around, so I'll be making some from the road. I'll have updates for you on our chapters, our assignments, but also a little travel log as well, since I got to be doing this on the move for the next 5 weeks. And it is an intensive course. And so we're going to have 5 weeks. And what you're going to see is that the basic structure is this, which is by Wednesday of this week, the 10th, I just want you to sign in. I want to make sure everybody's familiar with the Canvas website and familiar with the process that we're going to use the following Sundays for the next month or so. And that is, I want you to go to the Introduction and Welcome section, hit the reply box into the discussion, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then once you hit submit, you'll be able to see the contributions from your classmates, and I want you to read through and comment on at least 2 of them. That's important because that's the structure we're going to use for our essays. Every Sunday night, midnight, we're going to have an essay due. And the first thing you always do is copy and paste your essay into that same reply box for the discussion. You'll be able then to see your classmates. I want you to read through them and comment on at least 2. You can comment on more if you want, but you got to do at least 2. That's the only rule. And I'll be talking more about the requirements around these 4 essays that we're going to have that will be due starting this Sunday night, a week from now, and then it'll be every Sunday night after that. And so it turns out that it's really, the structure is pretty simple in that this week, Wednesday the 10th, that's when we're going to start with the first thing, the practice, the introduction, just to get familiar with how it works. And then we're going to see that the Sunday nights are like the 14th, the 28th, the 14th, the 21st, the 28th. Then we get into July. And but this whole class wraps up on July the 9th. So it's going to end fast. We're going to blink and this thing will be over. So we got to get a lot of work done because that Thursday, July the 9th is when the class ends. So it'll be, like I said, the Wednesday to start with the introductions, and then Sunday night with the essays. And then the final exam is the last week. Turn that thing in on Thursday. And like I said, this whole calendar is in the Canvas website. It's in the syllabus. You'll be able to see it under assignments. It's a lot of different places, so you'll find it. And but what it looks like is this kind of rhythm. We're going to start by reading, chapter 1, and then we're going to have a case study where you take lessons from chapter 1 and apply them to the case study in your essay. And the essays are short. They're not that big a deal. Most people write 1.5 pages to 2 pages. Sometimes it's 1 page to 1.5 pages. It just depends on how quick you can get in, and make sure to do this key thing, which is when you answer the questions around the case study, you just need to bring something, some definition, some concept from the material for that week, like chapter 1, and then apply that, mention that, cite that in your essay. You don't have to cite anything outside of our textbooks. You don't have to do research. You don't have to find other books. You do, if you want to, that's fine. But the one thing you do need to do is cite the chapter, the references for that week. And so, like I said, the first week's going to look like read chapter 1, look at the case study, and apply it. At least, like I said, again, all you have to do is cite one key concept, one definition back to that first chapter in our textbook, Doing Ethics by Louis Vaughn. So you'll get the hang of it. And that's why we kind of practice with the Wednesday introduction, just to make sure everybody's familiar with how to do this. And you'll see the calendar, you'll see the schedule. I make sure that it should be pretty crystal clear what you need to do, which is this series of Sunday night, midnight essays over the next couple of weeks. If you have questions, let me know. You can always reach me through Canvas. You've got my cell phone number. You can always call me or text me or whatever else. But the whole the whole expectation, the requirements for the class are going to be these Sunday night essays and then the final exam. The last week is the final exam. Turn it in by Thursday, the 9th of July, and we'll be done. So, like I said, it's the first week. We're trying to figure this out. I want to make sure today that you go look around the website, look at Canvas, and make sure that you have access to the textbook. It's free. It's in one of the modules. You just click on it. It's like textbook access here. And one last thing about that. When you click on it, you should be able to click right through to the textbook. If it gets you a pop-up or something about entering a code, there is no code. Just click right past that. Sometimes it pops up, sometimes it doesn't. If you have any trouble accessing the textbook, let me know. But it's there, it's free, and it's in that first module. You should be fine. So that's one thing you got to figure out right away. Because again, why do you need the textbook? Because you have to read the first chapter in order to answer the case study for the essay due Sunday night. These things are all linked together. So get in there, find the textbook, make sure you've got access to chapter 1, read it, and then look at the case study. And I will mention to you right off the bat that the case study it's difficult. It ends badly. It's a true story. I didn't make up the terrible ending. But I just wanted to brace you now for the fact that there's no easy way out. There's no answer which solves all the problems. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too, I'm afraid. It's a tough, difficult ethical choice that this young woman, Jenny Lake, faced. And I want to know what your ethical judgment is about not just the situation she was in, but what she chose to do about it. So we'll ease into this. Don't worry. I'll be making videos. I'll be with you, walking through the whole way with you. Like I said, it's going to be short, but we're just going to do some reading and some writing, and then we'll make it happen. I have lots of students that take this class and they do well because it's all kind of really clearly laid out. And again, it's a week for each of these assignments. You got to spend that week reading the chapter and then writing your essay and then getting it in by Sunday night at midnight, and you'll be fine. All right, so that's enough for our first day. Welcome to the class. Take a look around, start work on your introduction, and I'll plan to be in touch with y'all as we go along, and maybe, like I said, a little travel too. I'll be doing some pop-ups from around different places. All right, take care, and I will talk to y'all soon. All right, bye-bye.